don't think it was an issue before.
Okay, well, people haven't really been.
That's fair. All right, we should be live again.
Yeah, so this, I believe it's the 60 card mirror match on Golden Go Hall.
Oh, it's Grand Caleb? Yeah, it should be 60 card mirror.
Things, like, since I have to play the winner of this, there's certain things I want to know. Like, apparently there's no Crispin.
Interesting.
I think the idea is just like I think the original list didn't run ciphers. So
Okay.
I think they decide to be like more consistent with their setup.
So they're more of a...
They don't have that like that ability to go straight into the corporate.
Right. So they're more of a Goldengo deck than past iterations.
That's how it is. It's mostly a Goldengo deck with Dracula as your alternative draw engine.
Right.
But then in the matchups, things like Cornerstone.
Right.
You can go to Dragapult.
Yeah.
And then like
this deck probably still gets bodied by Blissey though, right?
I'm not entirely sure because like if you just two-shot the Cornerstone, I'm not really sure how like what else they have.
Well, I think we're more worried about
I know
the Monkey Dories, right?
Lose
yeah.
The win in it.
Well, I don't know how. Did he talk about how the matchup felt?
So the thing is, his brother was saying that it was really bad.
Right.
So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to Fernando, but I've spoken to Marco, and Marco was like, yeah. He was saying that his brother's going to get the sweat climb, so he didn't have confidence on him beating any of the decks on the other side of the bracket. Which is only this deck and my Godable deck. So
right, okay.
So it's not like he's losing everything. So it's
true.
Two decks that he didn't feel very confident, but I'm not sure, because like the Cornerstone's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm going to go caster mode for a second here. So real quick, I got Brent next to me, who's going to be playing the winner of this game. It's Grant Shen on the left versus Caleb Rogerson on the right. This is a Goldengo Pult. Should be a 60 card mirror match. So it's going to be relatively straightforward, I think, from both players. Yeah. I'll probably just probably not do anything special here besides entertain Brent.
This spot's really bad though. Wait, who's on the left again? Oh,
it's Grant. Yeah, Monkey Dory Pass is definitely not what we're looking for, surely.
And like the bad thing is it signals a bad hand as well.
Right. Which is a bunch of energy, isn't it?
There is an Oven though, so he has Oven for Poffin to Evo. So it's not the worst. Like I'm not entirely sure how the matchup goes because generally the normal Goldengo mirror, it's whoever gets. If you get the first prize as a one prize, you're in a really good position.
Right.
But in this game, particularly, your one prize it has to be the Dracula. The monkey being inactive is not that bad, but going for TM Evo is really risky because then it then gives Caleb time to just sit back until he has a.
Sorry. Yes. Up by the Hive.
Okay. Do you have a name?
I don't know the name, no. But I was told, yeah. All right, so someone from staff came over, not to interrupt you, Brent. Someone from staff came over and asked if I'm allowed to be here, which I was given permission by Hive.
I don't think I'm allowed to.
Are you not? Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'll put these down.
I might not be allowed.
Yeah. No, you should be fine. Yeah. Like they can't stop you from watching the game. I don't think.
They can stop me from being in this position.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
So, I guess there was the Oven. You see, there was. I'm not sure if he grabbed Team Evo. Never mind. Yeah, going for the Genesect is actually really good. That was a big thing in this matchup.
True. And as both players are playing it, you're kind of not thinking either of them is going to get to use their ace
back. As I was
back.
saying with the dynamic, usually it's the person who takes the first prize, but with the Genesect, what you can do is you can take the knockout with a Goldengo, and it's way more likely they don't have the KO in response. And that allows you to get ahead in the prize trade. Because generally the person who gets the first two, or the first person to get to 4 prizes is generally favored.
Right. And are we just assuming we're taking the first? If we are initiating with the one prize board, we're just doing it with the Dracula, right?
Yes, but I don't think that's the plan because with the Genesect tool, I think it's just going to be with the Goldengo.
Okay.
But if it was without the Genesect tool, it would be a Dracula.
That makes sense. That should check out. Matthew did not win. No, Brent won. There's people in chat. I should not be reading chat in the first place. Grant's gonna be eyeing up the Evo. I don't think. Well, maybe we have to go for the Evo here. If our hand is just dead. That's a Goldengo. We cannot. There we go.
Skipping a step.
Yeah. I have to like.
It's really not good. He can't get Genesect.
I'm gonna unplug this, and then if I get closer to run out of battery, I need to put my my hand down here.
Yeah, you simply can't get Genesect here. I think his hand's really bad that he has to go for TME.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could TM Evo just to the Dracloak, but that seems a little greedy to me.
One thing I don't know is what their Iron accounts are.
Surely it's just like 1 or 2, right?
It's the original list, I think, was on tour.
Yeah.
But I did hear 3 Cypher, so that wouldn't surprise me. They're down to 1 Iron or 0.
Right.
So that's probably the one thing that I really want to find out.
Yeah.
Just knowing if I have to play around it.
That's true. We'll likely see it in this game if there is Nyano in either list, but yeah. Alright, Cypher.
Who bowled the best? So it does not look like he was going for the knockout, unless he has another angle in hand.
Yeah. I mean, going for the knockout in front of this board feels kind of scuffed, right? I guess.
He has a really interesting decision to make with...
That's somewhat better. So, what happened here? Caleb takes first prize of the game on active Monkey Dory. It should be just Grant to respond here. If Grant takes 2, Grant is likely just going to be too far ahead here. With the Genesect in play, it might be a little scuffed. The board isn't great for Grant. Yeah, the glare is much worse from this angle. I'll see what I can do on the glare, but I think this is the best angle I can get without getting closer. But unfortunately, I don't think they'll let me get closer. I'm on the spectator row now. I'll just try to talk more about what's happening on stream. And you guys can fill in the blanks. So, Grant has used Cloak, Fez, Arven, Dengo. So basically all draw pieces available to him. He needs to knock out this active Dengo. If he whiffs that knockout, or no, sorry, he hasn't used Arven. He geared for Arven, my bad. If he whiffs knockout on the active, this game should just be chalked. There's, of course, the Genesect on Caleb's board. And because of that, we cannot just grab the Eastwich Pro. So finding this knockout is going to be a little more demanding here for Grant. I don't think we have enough energies in our hand for this. We're eyeing up a bunch of energies that we cannot grab. There's a vessel. Okay, so maybe we are getting there. Can't see Grant's hand well enough, unfortunately. And remember, this is top 8. As Caleb had to go through ASIM to get here. There's going to be a hesitant attachment to the active. I don't think Grant's getting there. Night Stretcher. Ventral Punch active, Attach active. And it looks like we're just going to be hitting for 200. That's not going to be enough here. Now, notably, 200 is going to put this Goldengo into a Dragapult range. So, Grant definitely still in this game to a degree. But probably not in the way he wants to be. As for Caleb, at this point, you're just trying to take a prize to keep your lead. If we swing into the active, it does have the Vengeful Punch. It's going to put the active Goldengo to 240 damage with 20 HP left. if that is the case, then it is going to be easier to knock out for the Dragapult. Also goes into like some one prize ranges, I guess, in theory, although that'll likely not be relevant. Especially considering that Caleb is at 5, which means swing with a one prizer is just kind of redundant for Grant here. Oh wait, is this better? As far as Claire is concerned? Oh, maybe it is. It's harder to hold, but I'll be fine. There's the Cipher being played. Looks like it's just a superior and something else being grabbed here. This is a very scuffed stream. I don't know what you expected. I'm doing quite literally everything I can. Yeah, it might be better, but it's also way harder to hold my phone like this. But I'll do what I can. All right. Looks like Caleb has done all his Goldengo draw shenanigans and is ready to knock out the active. We might see. Well, we can't really gust here. We've already used Cipher, and we can't use Counter Catcher, so. Looks like it's just going to be a superior and whatever else we can do here. Alright, Pogo is popping off. Caleb is hitting this knockout, right? Surely? Yeah, there we go. There's the, what did you say for way overkill? Let's jar an extra. Was it 7 or 6? Interesting. Well, regardless, Caleb is up by 3 now in this mirror match. Dragapult attack is likely the only real option for Grant here. If we combo that with an Iono, we might have a line, but regardless, it's looking pretty scuffed. There's Arvin. It's gonna be for the Ultra Ball, it seems. Gonna have the A-Spec and the Poffin. The A-Spec just about as useless as a Poffin right now, if not more so. But there is the Dragapult DX. Should have an out Psychic, I'm pretty sure. Question is if we have the Counter Catcher. I think we do. Because if we don't, then I'd definitely just be scooping as Grant here, personally. But we'll see. Yeah, there is a superior in hand, so that should be our Psychic. Well, what now? Is that enough? There's a Psychic. Haven't seen the Counter Catcher yet, though. We might not have a Counter Catcher. Does not seem like we do. That's pretty bad. Because we are swinging to a Goldengo in the active with 20 HP left. So that's not exactly great value. Still, swing with the Pult is definitely swinging with better than swinging with the Dengo regardless. It looks like we are just going to be putting... Where? Something on the bench Dengo. Looks like Grant is spreading the damage a bit here, though. I believe, was that 10? 10... 3, and... I guess that must be 2 on the Genesect. Interesting. Yeah, so 3 on the bench Cloak, likely the most relevant number here. Might change. That is a bench Genesect with Vengeful Punch, yes. This is a 60 card mirror. At least it should be. That is the assumption we're going off of. Top 4 so far is Brent Tonneson, reigning world champ, whose name I still can't pronounce. The winner of this game, and I do not believe I know the last one with certainty. Has Yurko made top 4? Because if Yurko is in top 4, then he'd be confirmed to be playing against... Is it Fernando? I feel like there's more to his name than that, but yeah. If our Canine bracket is updated, then then Yurko versus Cifuensis. Alright. Well, we're still on Caleb's turn here. Doing what exactly with our, 10 million card hand? We're still mid-cipher. Cipher for what here, right? Caleb, what you have to be trying to figure out here is how do we knock out those Dragapults or take any prize this turn, frankly, while putting ourselves in a position to then win next turn, right? We have 2 turns to think ahead about as Caleb. You're putting yourself in this turn into whatever situation is going to get you the best odds to win next turn. So if you conclude that knocking out the Dragapult is what's going to give us the best odds, then that's what you got to go for. But we'll see. Energy's grabbed from the Superior. Double Night Stretcher being used. There is an additional 2 energy. And there is the 7 to knock out the Dragapults. And Caleb goes to 1. Grant going to count some energies, count some resources, figure out what are the odds of Caleb whiffing next turn, or honestly, if it's even possible for Caleb to have it next turn. We should be down likely 2 Superior, 2 Night Stretcher. Yeah, Dengo pulled 60 card mare. Grant, Shen, Caleb, Rogerson. Grant on the left, Caleb on the right. Alright, back up to Grant now. Thango in the active. And a dream. I was glaring a little bit more. Maybe I can go. How did I fix the glare earlier? It might just be the light in the venue. I don't know. Guy on the left's bench is Fez, Dracloak, and now Goldengo. All right. Active Dingo used, Fez used, Dracloak used. What now? As Grant, I think the only reasonable line here is knock out active and see if that gets us anywhere. Zoom, please? I can't, unfortunately. This is the best I can do. Trust me, I tried. Grant mapping out the superior. Looks like we superior away double metal though, or are we just looking at a discard pile? I think so. I have no idea. If I don't believe he does. I think his brother does, though. I believe Marco does. We're going to be turrowing our Pheasantipity here. Attaching to the active. I guess that is going to be what Grant concludes to be the best line. Which means in all likelihood, they're likely not Nayano in either of these decks. Well, we'll see, but I guess without a way to attack with the Dragapult, then the Ayano isn't exactly great. But there's a Goldengo in the active, a draw 2. Caleb is playing relatively fast, so it does seem like we are just going to get there. There is a superior being eyed up, and another superior, and that's going to be that. Caleb Rogerson on the right is going to be taking game number 1 in top 8 here against Grant Shen. I believe Yurko is in top 4. So top 4 is Yurko, Sifuenze, Fernando, I think it's Fernando, Brent, and the winner of this game. We have no idea how much time is left. I'm assuming they're playing 75 minutes, and I can't imagine this game took longer than, well, about the duration of the stream, frankly, so anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes, so we should be fine. Who's scooped? No one scooped. Caleb just won. Is Brent a slow player? No, not to my knowledge. I've played against him several times and he hasn't been slow. That's better Glare a little bit anyway. Alright. This is really not comfortable, but whatever. Oh, dropped my phone. There we go. Alright, they have been shuffling for what can only be a million years. Guys, I know we're friends, but can we, like, please play the game? Making top 4 graphic now and promoting stream again. Appreciate it, Cora. What'd you play this event? I played Raging Bolt. I played Raging Bolt, same 60 I played in Atlanta. And unfortunately lost my win in the day 2. Ending at 5-3. I chose to not take the ID and did unfortunately get punished. But so be it. I have no regrets about my play. I think I played really well. It was a bad beat, unfortunately. But we're not here to hear about my mediocre run. We're here to look at some players who are having a great run. Caleb and Grant both are. Alright. See if Caleb can find a basic this time. I'll try to change my posture here. Yeah, they had to move me. They were not particularly happy about me sitting right in front of the projector. Well, right behind the projector, I guess. All right. Caleb on the right here going first. Grant chose to go second. It's going to be a nest ball being played here. And the fact that it's a nest ball, not a poffin, does imply that this hand might not be... Well, it's not bad hand necessarily, but definitely not the going first hand we want it to be. Sudden death? No, there's no sudden death. We're not even close to sudden death. I am allowed to do this. I did get confirmation that I am allowed to do this. I see the turn 1 Energy Search Pro here from Caleb. Makes sense, there is a Genesect in the active, and Grant can just play Arven, so nice that we have it in our opening hand. We are going to be allowed to use that card, thin out our deck of all these energies. He's refunding all redeems. I ain't refunding shit. I ain't... So listen, waste all the channel points you want. You aren't getting those back. Unless the mods want to redeem you. Alright, I think Grant has like about 1 million energies in his opening hand. There was at least 4. It could have very well been more. I suppose I don't know what you're trying to achieve, but you're not getting anywhere. So, rip. Cora, don't redeem anyone. Especially not Osmos. Alright. Enough about that. We're ignoring that for now. Back over to Grant here, who is price checking with this Ultra Ball. The hand does seem very dead here. I don't think we have any Poffins, no Arvens, no nothing. Which is definitely not a great sign for Grant, especially as he is down a game here. No, I am streaming this directly off of Twitch. So it is like extra scuffed. Alright. Grant's going to continue to write down his prize cards. Let's see, an attach of a metal energy to the bench. I unfortunately cannot. This is the absolute closest I can get. Frankly, I have about the perfect seat. I am right in front row, right in the middle. Alright. Grant's finally done prize checking, is shuffling up here. And has passed the turn over. So Caleb is just starting here. So recon directive here to start. And now, I mean, as Caleb, I mean, if you can kill the gimme goal, the game is just about as close to over as we can get. But even just using Mind Bend here is going to be just fine, I think. Yeah, it does look like we are eyeing up that Mind Bend as our option of choice as Caleb. We're going to see the Cypher. Likely just a couple gold Dengos, I'd imagine. Something along those lines. Do not believe we have a gold Dengo in hand, so with no Dengo in hand, we're not going to be able to immediately utilize when we get off the Cypher, but we can just tutor our deck for next turn to get what, yeah, to get whatever we can. Oh, and just FYI, everyone, I do plan on, once I get home from Monterrey, thankfully the VODs from all the streams here are going to be saved on Twitch. So I'll be throwing the VODs on my YouTube channel that is relatively inactive, so it's not worth much, but they'll be going on there just to make sure that these games aren't lost to time. I do think it's a shame when that happens, especially with high-stakes tournaments like this. So yeah, just so everyone knows. All right. Grant now on the left, I believe has top decked an Ultra Ball. We can see a better glimpse of his hand though. It is Ultra Ball, Psychic, Lightning, Fez, and Switch. Which ironically means that Grant can possibly find a way to do something here. The problem here is that if we do go switch into active, or switch into Gold Bengo, draw 2, somehow knock out the Monkey Dory, we're just going to get Respond knocked out because we know that Caleb, well, first of all, just used Cypher and has all of his energy from Energy Search Pro still in hand, as he did play eSearch Pro on the turn 1. So, Grant is going to opt for the gimme goal here, with Fez Switch still in the hand. Basically just kind of having to play on the fact that maybe Caleb puts down a 2-prizer, but it is just going to be a Mind Bend here. So now Caleb is going to be up in the game with a fully 1-prize board. This is the dream if we are playing the Gold Dingo matchup. Now this is top 8, guys. This is top 8. We had two top 8 games on stream. Yeah, Grant has the Fez here. The unfortunate reality of this is that Grant can take 1 prize card here into Monkey Dory, and in response, Caleb is going to take 2 into the Goldengo. And from there, Caleb will just very naturally win the 2-2-2 prize trade, and therein win the set, as Caleb is up a game. So some unfortunate draws here for Grant, but unfortunately I think in a 60-card mirror, especially when both players know it's a 60-card mirror, these players have worked on the 60 together. Well, I don't actually know who built the 60, but they are both playing the same 60. They both know what counterplay is available and what counterplay isn't available. Oh, and we also just straight up whiffed the Goldengo EX here as Grant. So it could never be more scuffed. I think this game is unfortunately just chalked, as Caleb is about to go up by 2. And we did not see an Iono last game, and while it's not impossible that there was an Iono in these lists, not currently expecting it. So what I'm expecting them to do is that I believe we have the one top 4 game, but I think we're waiting. I think they haven't started anything top 4, so we might only be waiting for this game for top 4 to start. We'll see. Regardless, though, we're going to see a boss on the Fesnipity. Caleb is seemingly just going to forward his lead here by going up by 3 prize cards. Also taking, Grant's only draw away from him, as there is no Goldengo, no Dracloak, and no nothing. I do not believe either is in the hand. We play a Cypher, so we might top deck a Goldengo, I guess, but I highly doubt it's going to be enough to get Grant into this game. There's an Arven and an Iono just immediately off the top. This is going to be the only possible way for Grant to win this game, is going to be the Iono, and that is a confirmation that there is an Iono in the list. I'm going to make sure that Brent knows that. The winner of this game is going to be playing against Brent Tonneson, playing Gardevoir. Poffin being played here. Shuffling up. Do we have a Goldengo? Does look like we have a Goldengo. Going to be a draw 2. Can we hit a knockout? It's maybe a little much to ask for, but if you're Grant, you kind of have to high roll here if you want to have a shot. Looks like it's going to be a pass, so that's going to be a no. And now what? We have 3 card hand, 4 card after top deck. It's going to become 6 card after coin bonus and 7 card after Dracloak's Recon Directive. Depending on how Caleb wants to sequence this, of course. I believe that is a counter control and a Dracloak, so that's just going to be the Dracloak grabbed here. Another Recon Directive for Caleb. I believe that was Vengeful Punch and No, it was Poffin and TM Evo. Again, 2 dead cards here, but there's going to be our Cypher, and that should just guarantee our knockout on the opposing Goldengo here. Very likely just to be something like Vessel plus Superior. All depending on, of course, what is on the game, yeah. The ASIM game was Caleb against a Mexican player whose name is eluding me right now, playing Raging Bolt. Caleb, of course, won. That is why he's on stream right now. Fernando is playing Blissey, Blissey Monkey Dory. Yurko is playing Terrabox. As a matchup that actually seems quite interesting. But regardless, Caleb is going to slam double Superior, knock out the active, and going down to 1 prize card. Now, can Grant pull off the 6-1 comeback to keep his tournament dreams alive? It's likely not going to happen, but what is the out as Grant here? See a bunch of energies. There's an Arven and a Poffin. A Poffin's dead, but Arven could get his Ultra Ball into Dengo. If there was a time to high roll, it is now as Grant. This is the only shot left back into this game. And even then, it's a bit optimistic. But it is possible. He has 0 Pult in the War Made Top Cut. Alright, Arven has been played. Night Stretcher for Goldengo is going to be 2 really good cards here. There's a Dracloak and a Superior. Cloak gets a Superior, and that looks like an Artisan to me. I don't think 2 Superiors are going to get us there. I don't think we have the energies for that. Maybe we do? We have 3 energy in our hand. So depending on how we sequence this, But I don't know if we have the raw amount of energies required, unfortunately. Poffin being considered here. And what else? Oh, very bad glare coming back here. I think it's every time someone walks past the camera, the glare gets worse. Well, regardless, it's going to be a Poffin, I believe, for a Gimmighoul as Grant here. There's the Superior being played. Metal attached. Do we have enough to knock out the active? I believe we do. Has he been hydrating yet? Yeah, can't do that, buddy. It is going to be the knockout onto the active here. First prize is taken of game 2 here for Grant. Let's see if Caleb can close it out. Draw 2, I believe that was Ultra Ball and Ultra Ball. That's something. That gets us a Gholdengo. Alright, Ultra Balling away. A bunch of energies here from that Superior. Yep, there's the boss, the energies, and the knockout. Caleb Rogerson moves on to top 4. A little bit of clapping, not as much clapping as earlier.